We begin with the Finger Bearer. This bad boy is the first special grade cursed spirit we meet, formed around one of Sukuna's fingers. It siphons his wicked energy, cranking up its power to astronomical levels. And while it doesn't flaunt any flashy abilities, this dude knows how to manipulate cursed energy like a pro, turning it into a slingshot to launch explosions, infusing its punches with a serious energy boost, and even wiping out pesky shadows by expanding its cursed energy in a wicked radius. It's got an enormous pool of cursed energy too, seemingly able to fight forever without taking a break. Talk about stamina. Hanami. Now on to the next disaster curse, Hanami. Born from the lush forest and the chaos of nature's tantrums, Hanami might not be the strongest disaster curse, but don't count her out. She's all about using cursed energy to whip up some plant magic. Those plants she creates, yeah, they're just extensions of her cursed energy. And she can summon and obliterate them at will. Hanami's got a solid arsenal of abilities. First up, she can manifest roots that she controls like a puppeteer. Whether it's for restraining foes or impaling them, she's got it covered. Then there are these wooden balls she can create that shoot out sharp branches, but watch out. They can be countered by other cursed techniques and only last for one use. Next, we have her Cursed Bud, where she throws a cursed seed that grows off her opponent's cursed energy, dealing some nasty internal damage. She can toss these seeds one at a time, or unleash a whole bouquet. But her most powerful trick? It's gotta be the Flower Field technique, where she summons a stunning field of flowers that distracts her enemies. Even Gojo was momentarily sidetracked by it. And if that doesn't scream power, I don't know what does. Now Hanami's got a domain too, although we've never seen it in action. To activate it, the flower on her arm needs to absorb energy from surrounding plants. Once that's done, she can unleash a powerful beam from it. The sheer head effect of her domain. Jogo. Now moving on to the ultimate disaster curse, Jogo. Jogo is like the embodiment of all the fiery angst surrounding volcanoes and eruptions, and boy does he know how to wield fire. His main gig is transforming cursed energy into pure scorching flames, complete with a couple of fire-fueled tricks up his sleeve. Ever heard of ember insects? They're like tiny fire bombs flying straight for their targets, exploding on impact. And let's not forget his volcanic eruptions that unleash hellfire. Jogo isn't just a one-trick pony, he's also packing a domain expansion, Coffin of the Iron Mountain, where he traps foes in the heart of a volcano. Talk about hot stuff. Inside this domain, the heat is so intense that it could toast a standard sorcerer alive without breaking a sweat. Plus he's got a maximum technique, Maximum Meteor, where he summons a massive meteor to rain destruction on opponents. Jogo claims it could seriously harm even Sukuna, but let's be real. Sukuna dodged it like it was nothing. But then again, we all know he's got some serious moves. Cursed Rika. Moving on to Jujutsu Kaisen 0, we encounter the formidable cursed spirit, Rika. Rika is a powerful and tragic figure, manifesting as a vengeful spirit bound to Yuta Okatsu. Her immense cursed energy gives her near infinite destructive potential, making her a significant threat not just to individual sorcerers, but to the entire Jujutsu society. Even a partial manifestation of Rika could easily eliminate a lower-ranked sorcerer, and it was widely believed that even someone as powerful as Gojo Satoru might struggle to handle her full form. Rika's primary threat level stems from her destructive capabilities, but she also possesses two notable abilities. First, she can store and replicate cursed techniques for Yuta, which serves as a vital resource in his arsenal. However, it's worth mentioning that Rika cannot utilize these techniques independently. She relies entirely on Yuta's instructions to wield them. Secondly, she can fire a concentrated beam of cursed energy from her eye, a devastating attack that proved powerful enough to overwhelm Suguru Geto, annihilating even the special grade cursed spirits he was controlling with ease. As we progress through the manga, Rika reappears, though her status raises some debate. Is she still a cursed spirit? Or is she transformed into something akin to a Shikigami? In her later form, Rika functions more like a curse technique for Yuta, rather than a distinct entity, complicating the dynamics of their relationship. Mahito. Continuing with Mahito, his abilities make him one of the most formidable curses in Jujutsu Kaisen. His idol transfiguration not only allows him to manipulate the souls of his victims, but also grants him a unique sadistic pleasure in observing their suffering. This twisted fascination is reflected in how he toys with his victims, relishing the process of altering their very existence. Mahito's soul multiplicity is particularly dangerous because it highlights the psychological horror of his abilities. When he merges souls, the resulting reaction is a chaotic explosion, driven by the instinctual repulsion between the souls. This not only serves as a powerful offensive technique, but also underscores the fragility of human existence when faced with curses like him. One of the most impressive aspects of Mahito's arsenal is his domain expansion, self-embodiment of perfection. In this space, he gains unparalleled control over the souls within it, turning the battlefield into a playground of death. The fact that he can activate this domain in mere moments makes him an even deadlier opponent, especially when faced against sorcerers who might not have time to react. However, Mahito is not invincible. His ability to alter his own body, while versatile, comes with limitations. The larger he becomes, the more his speed and agility suffer, which can be a critical factor in high-stakes battles. Moreover, he seems unable to fully detach his body parts, which could leave him vulnerable if an opponent finds a way to exploit that weakness. As we move into the manga-exclusive abilities, Mahito's polymorphic soul isomer presents a terrifying new challenge for sorcerers. These entities are not just mere extensions of Mahito, but are powerful beings in their own right, capable of immense physical destruction. Their lack of physical defense, however, means that a clever sorcerer could potentially outmaneuver and defeat them if they exploit that gap. Additionally, the creation of a body double serves to reinforce Mahito's cunning strategies in combat. While not as strong as the original, this double allows him to gather information and create distractions, showcasing Mahito's intellect and tactical prowess in battle. Finally, Mahito's spirit body of distorted killing marks a significant evolution of his powers, making him a force to be reckoned with. This form not only boosts his physical abilities, but also deepens the philosophical implications of his character. The very essence of his soul becoming a weapon speaks volumes about his nature as a curse and his fundamental detachment from humanity. Next up is the Yahi Bridge Curse, a rather mundane yet annoying curse that embodies the spirit of a pesky Diglett, featuring an array of heads that require constant destruction, reminiscent of a game of whack-a-mole. This curse lacks any true remarkable abilities, making it one of the weaker curses in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe. Its primary function seems to be more about irritation than genuine threat, acting as a minor hurdle for sorcerers rather than a serious adversary. Death's Brothers, Isso and Kichizu. Now we delve into the Death's Brothers, Eso and Kichizu, who form a notable trio alongside Chozo. These brothers are a fascinating blend of human and cursed spirit, with their abilities revolving around the manipulation of blood. Both Izo and Kichizu wield the Rot technique, which renders their blood corrosive and deadly. This technique can also apply the Decay technique, causing a slow, agonizing death for anyone unfortunate enough to come into contact with their tainted blood. Iso in particular has a maximum technique called Winking, allowing him to launch multiple blood tracks at his opponents. There's an intriguing ambiguity about his hovering abilities, as it seems like he can maneuver in ways that add complexity to his fighting style. Chozo, the third brother, is introduced at this point, but much like Dagon, his true potential and significance won't be revealed until later in the Shibuya incident, so we'll hold off on discussing him for now. Tamamo no Me. Another notable curse from Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is Tamamo no Me. Classified as one of the 16 registered special grade cursed spirits, unfortunately details about Tamamo are sparse, as it was ultimately destroyed by Rika without us witnessing its abilities firsthand. This leaves a sense of mystery surrounding its capabilities, and how it might have challenged sorcerers. Rainbow Dragon. Next up we have the Rainbow Dragon, one of Geto's most powerful cursed spirits. This dragon is renowned for its incredible speed and boasts the hardest hide among all his spirits. Unfortunately, beyond these impressive traits, we don't have much else on the Rainbow Dragon's abilities or techniques. However, it played a significant role during Geto's confrontation with Toji, showcasing its strength alongside Kusanona or Kuchisake Onna. Kuchisake Onna is a vengeful spirit known for her unique ability to cast a simple domain. Once inside this domain, both she and her target must refrain from attacking until the victim answers her question. Once the question is answered, she unleashes a flurry of scissors that fly around at high speeds, making her a formidable opponent. This combination of psychological tactics and swift, deadly attacks makes her a significant threat in battle. Shibuya Incident Grasshopper Curse. As we transition to the Shibuya Incident, we meet the Grasshopper Curse, which embodies the characteristics of its namesake. This curse can fly, spit black sludge, and stab with its abdomen, making it a simple yet somewhat annoying foe. However, it's not particularly clever or memorable, serving more as a minor nuisance than a formidable opponent. Smallpox Deity. Next, we encounter the Smallpox Deity in a fierce battle against Mojito. The deity's technique revolves around its domain, which traps the victim inside a tight coffin. After the victim is ensnared, the curse drops a massive stone atop the coffin, effectively burying it underground. The curse then counts down from 3. If the victim fails to escape by the time the countdown reaches 0, they die instantly. This lethal technique showcases the Smallpox Deity's menace and strategic prowess. Chozo, the last of Death's paintings. Now we turn our attention to Chozo, the oldest and most powerful of the Death's paintings. He shares a blood manipulation ability with the K clan, but he stands out as the only character who can fully utilize this technique. His unique ability allows him to convert cursed energy into blood, meaning that as long as he has cursed energy, he cannot die or pass out from blood loss. This capability enables Chozo to wield his blood-based abilities with reckless abandon, setting him apart from typical blood manipulation users. Chozo has a variety of techniques at his disposal, but he primarily relies on 3 key abilities. The first is Piercing Blood, a high-end blood manipulation attack that functions like a blood bullet, traveling at the speed of sound without any drawbacks, aside from needing to gather blood in his hands first. The second technique, Flowing Red Scale, allows him to accelerate by heating up his blood. By stacking multiple flowing red scales, he can overclock his body, achieving speeds greater than normal. His third technique, Supernova, resembles Piercing Blood, but instead releases a buckshot of blood projectiles, enhancing his offensive capabilities. In addition to these primary techniques, we've witnessed Chozo employ techniques like Meteorite and Body Hardening. Like his younger brothers, his blood is also poisonous, adding another layer of threat to his abilities. As the eldest sibling, Chozo can imitate his brother's abilities, showcasing the full potential of blood manipulation. Dagon. The last cursed spirit we encounter in the Shibuya Incident is Dagon. Despite being a powerful disaster curse, there's still much we don't know about him. Initially, Dagon manifested as a cursed woman, but after consuming a significant number of humans, he transformed into his full octopus-like form, drawing comparisons to both Hanami and Jogo. Dagon's abilities are rooted in disasters, specifically water-based catastrophes. He can generate colossal waves of water using his cursed energy, which are so powerful that they can overwhelm even first-grade sorcerers with ease. Additionally, Dagon has the unique ability to summon Shikigami from his stomach, a skill that truly shines with his domain, Horizon of the Captivating Skanda. Inside this domain, victims are subjected to an endless torment from the Shikigami, known as the Death Swarm. This is the signature effect of Dagon's domain, ensuring that the Shikigami spawn directly onto their targets, resulting in an almost guaranteed hit. Regrettably, this is when we see Dagon's potential cut short, as he is swiftly eviscerated by Toji shortly after activating his domain. Tengen. Next, we have a unique case to discuss, Master Tengen. Although Tengen was born human, he eventually transformed into a cursed spirit due to failing to fuse with a plasma star vessel. This transformation initiated a significant evolution, as his immortality curse technique didn't halt the aging process, it merely suspended the dying process. Consequently, this evolution turned him into a cursed spirit, which was eventually absorbed by Kenjaku, marking a pivotal moment in the story. Kudorushi. Following the Shibuya incident, there's a notable absence of cursed spirits until we meet Kudorushi in the Sendai colony. Kudorushi embodies the deep-seated hatred and fear society holds towards cockroaches, and his power reflects this disdain. He ranks as one of the 16 registered special grade cursed spirits, boasting a range of roach-based abilities. The first of these is his capacity to create and control massive swarms of cockroaches. These cursed roaches are so overwhelming in number and strength that they can devour a human in mere seconds. Even average sorcerers would struggle to survive against such a swarm. When these cursed cockroaches feed, it triggers Kuroroshi's parthenogenesis, allowing him to generate even more cockroaches. This unique reproductive ability means he can create a new cursed offspring to ensure his survival, even if his previous body is destroyed. His final technique, Earth and Insect Trance, summons insects that carry fluid-filled sacs, impairing the vision of their targets. On top of these abilities, Kuroroshi wields the Festering Life Sword, a cursed tool equipped with 6 nesting pods, capable of firing insect eggs into the target. Upon impact, these eggs hatch instantly, devouring the victim from within before bursting forth through their skin. A truly gruesome fate. Cursed Neoya. The only other cursed spirit introduced during the culling games is Cursed Neowa, the vengeful spirit of Neowa Zenin. This spirit manifests after Neowa's death at the hands of a non-sorcerer, emerging as a far stronger entity than his previous self. In this form, he is tougher and significantly faster than regular Neowa. Despite this increase in power, his primary ability remains projection sorcery, which allows him to manipulate time perception, turning a single second into 24 frames of animation. This skill enables him to trace movements using these frames, creating a unique combat style. While Cursed Neowa has impressive speed and offensive capabilities, he relies less on raw speed and more on his technique. This ability forces anything he touches to move at 24 frames per second, or will be frozen in a single frame of animation for 1 second. This can be a strategic advantage in combat, freezing opponents in place. However, his true strength lies in his ability to collide with opponents at speeds reaching Mach 3 without incurring physical drawbacks. Sukuna. Now, many people are curious about Sukuna, and here's the truth. Sukuna is not a cursed spirit, he's a sorcerer, known as the King of Curses and Spirits. He was initially supposed to align with the disaster curses. Although he turned himself into a cursed object, he still retains the characteristics of a sorcerer. Sukuna can use reverse curse techniques to heal, which is a significant indication that he is not merely a curse, and he is widely regarded as the strongest sorcerer in history. Cursed spirits cannot be sorcerers, making his status even more intriguing. If you're looking for an explanation of Sukuna's abilities, don't worry, we've got you covered. As of this recording, we still don't know what Sukuna's base technique is, but we do have knowledge of 2 offshoots, Cleave and Dismantle. Both are slashing attacks that traverse space invisibly, with Dismantle designed to cut apart inanimate objects at a steady strength, while Cleave adjusts its strength to guarantee it can take down an opponent in a single hit. In Chapter 236, Sukuna also gains the extraordinary ability to cut space itself. This technique is incredibly powerful, because it doesn't target the opponent directly. Instead, it slashes the space they occupy. The only defense against this attack is evasion. Additionally, Sukuna is one of the 2 characters known to possess a barrierless domain, aptly named Malevolent Shrine. Within this domain, victims are subjected to constant slashes from Sukuna. These slashes automatically target their preferred medium, meaning that Dismantle will strike inanimate objects, while Cleave will target those with cursed energy. Thanks to Sukuna's mastery of Jujutsu, he can alter the conditions of his domain at will through a binding vow. This allows him to slash specific areas of the domain more effectively, or modify the domain's size, as long as it remains under 200 meters. Throughout the series, Sukuna has showcased several forms. The first, of course, was when he possessed Yuji's body. The second was in Megumi's body. Most recently, we've witnessed him revert back to his Heian era form, which is deemed the pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery. In this form, Sukuna sports multiple arms, enabling him to cast hand signs while executing his techniques. With several mouths, he can chant for jutsu without worrying about breath or straining his vocal cords. Essentially, he has no limitations in Jujutsu, compared to a typical sorcerer. Sukuna also appears significantly taller and more muscular than any human character we've encountered. To enhance his combat prowess, he wields 2 cursed objects, a trident and K. At this point, we still lack information about the trident, but K seems to function as a ranged weapon capable of firing lightning bolts. However, its true strength remains unclear, since the only person we've seen it used against was Cosimu, who was immune to it due to his own electrical abilities. What other secrets lie within Sukuna's arsenal, and how will they impact the ongoing battles? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.